Gopakumar, good evening.
Good evening, Murali.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I think we are 2 minutes early, so others may join in now.
Yeah, that's my join. Kaudit just said he may be slightly delayed because driving.
Okay. No problem. So you can start the meeting started, yeah.
Yeah, we can. Once that speaker joins.
Yeah, I think Mr. GS Mani from Pune section. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he has to join because he has not so far joined. Somebody from Thailand has joined. Huh? This looks like a Thai letter.
Sorry?
Is it some Thai letter? The participants.
No, it's 11 maybe, right?
No, this one. 11 are there. That is last but 3 is some other language. I don't know whether it is Thailand or
Not Thailand. It looks like Japanese or Korean or
something like that. Korean. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Money has joined.
Good evening, Mr. Go.
Hi. Sundaresan ji.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Professor Gopakumar.
Yeah.
Good evening, Professor Mani.
Professor Mani.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to all of you.
Yeah.
Good evening.
That's nice. Good evening, Sundaresh. Is it Sundaresh? Yeah. Okay. Gopakumar, sir, how are you?
I'm fine. I think Kaudit may be slightly delayed, but let me check with him and then we'll see.
Yeah.
Professor Mani, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Murali. Yeah.
Hello. Good evening, Murali. Nice
How are
that
you,
you joined. I'm fine.
Yeah. So looking forward to your interesting lecture on EW, sir.
Varadarajan, good evening.
Kaudit will be joining in 2-3 minutes. He has just reached.
Okay. No, it's only 6:30. There's still plenty of time to go.
No, he was traveling and he's just reached his house.
Hmm.
He has told me to be ready in case he is getting delayed. He has wanted me to be ready and by. You have tested that presentation. There's no need.
No, we'll do that.
Yeah, you just try it out.
Yeah.
Then by that time, some more people will join.
Yeah. I can share my screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Able to
Are
see.
you able to see that?
Are able to see, sir.
Yeah. Right.
We have to make it slide view. Very good.
You can make it full screen if you want, and you test full
Yeah, I think
screen.
now it's full screen. I think it's full screen, no?
We have to change them.
Yeah, I am seeing it on a mobile, so I can zoom it in the mobile.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm on the laptop only.
Yeah, but even laptop also nowadays comes with touch screen. You can zoom it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is working fine, so we can stop sharing now and be ready for the.
How do I stop sharing? I come
That
to
way-
stop share.
Let's say stop sharing screen will be better. Okay, that's all.
Hmm.
Good evening, Mr. Vadrajan.
Good evening, Krishnamurthy sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mani. How are you?
Yeah, we are fine.
Okay.
We met at Pune. We had come to Pune.
Yes, very much.
Very good.
Good evening, Krishnamurthy.
Yeah, good evening, Sundaresh. Are you in Chennai, Sundaresh?
No, in our village only. Tomorrow I'm
Okay.
coming. Tomorrow I'm
Okay.
reaching. We'll meet.
Oh, you,
Will you be in
okay.
Chennai? You'll be in Chennai now, this week, coming week.
I am in Chennai only.
We'll meet sometime.
Yeah, Dr. Sundaresh, good evening. Muralidharan.
Good evening, Mr. Murali. Nice. Now, there are two Muralidharas. I was wondering which one is Tata Murali.
Yeah. This is the
R.
Tata.
Muralidharan.
Oh,
R.
okay.
Muralidharan. Tata Murali.
R. Muralidharan is from Bombay. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Other is PG
Oh, yeah,
Muralidharan from
PG
Kerala.
is from Bombay.
PG Muralidharan is from Kerala.
Yeah, I'm actually originally from Kerala, but I located to Bombay.
Koridas just joined.
Good evening, Varghese sir. The man behind the show.
I think he's had to put on his camera.
Dr. Varadarajan, I am Mani here.
Vadrajan is a
I hope it
member
is
from
through.
Chennai, sir, from Chennai Madras section.
I see. Good.
Can you hear? Can you hear
From
me?
BS. He has worked in BSNL. Good evening, Mr. Kuntal.
Good evening, Gaurath.
Good.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, Astana ji.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, Hassan.
Good
Good evening.
Very nice to see you.
Nice background.
Yeah, Mr. Astana, hearty congratulations for continuing the L10, Region 10 LMAG coordinatorship.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
Congrats.
Looking forward for your leadership.
Thank you. We want to see a LMAG at Pune.
Sure.
I hope the numbers will change on 1st January. We have not-
No, Astana Saab, they are no hurry to get old. They are in no hurry to get old. Okay.
There may have been some new members, but the list will come only on 31st January.
Acha.
Individual members might have been informed in October, November last year itself.
Like Professor G.S. Mani also got his
Yeah.
senior life member seniorship a while ago. He had,
Almost, I think, September or so. September. Or October.
yeah.
So that your name will appear in January list.
Yeah. So what are the programs for 2023?
Where? At Region 10
No,
MGA.
LM group.
There are certain programs at MGA
Mhm.
that last year we launched 2 awards for regions.
Yeah, good.
LMAG Achievement Award and Life Member Individual Service Award.
Oh, congratulations.
But,
Congratulations goes to you.
Yeah, no. But there are not many nominations. From Region 10, there is only single nomination and we have to go with that. Then second, about R10, we have done some activities and we want to continue. We had a life member try because when one of the LMAG meets, some of the life members wanted to start a conference for life members. But there our director also present. He said it is very difficult to have a conference for life members alone. So why not start a track in Region 10 flagship conferences? So in 2022, we started life member track in 2 conferences, TENSIP at Bombay and HTC at Hyderabad. Now this year, we plan to have at all 3. TENSIP is being held at Canberra, HTC is being held at Gujarat, and TENCON is being held at Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Okay, good.
So we want to introduce life member track there also in TENCON also. TENCON this year also we planned, but because of the COVID, situation was not very good in Hong Kong. So we dropped the idea of having a life member track and TENCON 2022.
23 TENCOM is at Canberra.
23 TENCON is at Canberra, yes. HTC at Hyderabad.
HTC last year was in Hyderabad, am I right?
No, sorry, Gujarat, sorry.
Gujarat. When is that HSC in Gujarat? Is it in Baroda or in Ahmedabad?
It may be probably at this Rajkot. I think they have released the brochure. I just don't remember.
It will be somewhere in the middle of 23.
It is being planned, I think, in September. In fact, TENSIP should have been in the first half of the year, but that has also gone to August. TENSIP is supposed to be held in first half of the year and TENCON in the second half. So maybe in 24, they will try to shift it. 24 is being held in Delhi. TENSIP 24.
Sorry, I couldn't get you.
TENSIP 2024 is being held at Delhi. It has been awarded to Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will be chief host.
I don't know who will, because our chair is changing this year. So I don't know who has bid it, but it has come to Delhi, that much is known. And of course, at India Council, Koruth has taken a big initiative to have LMAG India. So yeah. I think let us encourage him to continue this and hold it at all India level also, because at least there is one place where all LMAGs in India, they can meet today. There are 7 LMAGs. So they can meet at one place at least, if not more, at least once at the time of All India SYWL Congress. Last time we had at Pune. This year they have not decided, but we can plan all LMAGs can meet there. That will be a good opportunity, because SYWL for region is being held in alternate years. Next Region 10 SYW will be in 2024.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, NT.
Hello.
Hello.
So what is the next item?
We're just waiting for Korit to join.
Okay.
There's some issues with the sound audio.
Okay.
Mr. Varadarajan from LMAG Madras section has joined this time. He was not well, so he could not join earlier. This month he could join. Mr. Varadarajan, probably you can introduce yourself. Mr. Varadarajan, are you able to hear me? You are muted.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, no, your face is not seen.
Okay, now I'm here.
Okay.
Now I'm here. See, I'm here in Chennai. I worked with a consulting engineers company nearly 4 decades. I started with Rourkela steel plant. I was an engineering trainee those days. Then I had to shift the jobs due to various family requirements. Finally, I landed in MN Dastu and Company Private Limited. This headquarters of this company is in the steel capital of India. Steel capital of India. That is eastern side, Calcutta. Then with MN Dastu, I had a lot of opportunities. Then there are some opportunities to work in Libyan steel plant, then in a Venezuelan steel plant and all that. And I was specialized in system design for electrical system design for steel plants. That is both power systems, instrumentation, controls, etc. And then I was a member of this Institution of Engineers. I'm sorry, the Bureau of Indian Standards, Rotating Electrical Machinery Committee, ETD 15 for 5 years. Then I had occasion to form the specifications for inverter grade motors and all that. So now I am settled in Chennai, and I am spending my time writing articles for electrical magazines, then giving lectures also, guest lectures, and participating in seminars and others. Last 1 year I was not well, post-COVID. I did not contract COVID, but then other old age issues were there. Now I'm recovering. In Mr. Subramaniam, I have a good friend and mentor, and then he is encouraging me every step. And also IEEE itself is a very friendly organization. No informal. It is very informal. That's what I found. Then I have a lot of friends in IEEE. It's a lot of friends. Then IEEE itself, I given a lectures. One in Pune on safety systems. And then earlier at Kalpakkam, atomic power plant and all that. So nice meeting all of you and wish you all a good day. And then we are all waiting eagerly to hear from the expert on this electronic warfare. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir. We are all waiting for everybody to join.
The coordinator, Mr. Kurtu Varghese, is having some problem in his audio.
Sure.
We're waiting for him to sort out that.
Sure, sir.
Hello. Hello.
And one more new member, Mr. Venkatrao Karvi, has joined us for this time. Mr. Venkatrao. So Venkatrao, can you introduce yourself, because I see that you are attending for the first time this talk about the talk arranged by LMAG India. Could you kindly introduce yourself?
I was a colleague of Professor Mani at the Institute of Armament Technology.
Okay.
Not an electronics engineer.
Oh.
So I just wanted to hear what he speaks.
Okay. You're a friend of Mr. Mani.
Yeah, I was in the DRDO for some time.
Yeah. I'm also from DRDO.
Hello. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
I was getting audio. Now I got audio. Thank you very much. So I'll be able to hear.
Welcome, Venkatrao. Very nice to see you.
Thank you.
Where are you now?
I'm in Chicago, USA.
Hey, must be now around 8.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Must be around 8:30 in the morning now.
It's morning here.
Huh? Can you hear me? No, Government.
Yes.
Governor, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
This is from another phone. My phone, the other phone may be having some problem.
Okay.
this is from phone only. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Sorry for keeping everybody waiting. Okay.
I am
So,
Prabhakaran from
7 o'clock, we can start.
You are working anywhere now, Venkatravu, or? Hello, Dr. Venkatravu.
Yes, sir.
You are associated with any group now, anywhere?
Engineer sir.
hello.
Engineer sir. Yes, sir.
You can clearly see me.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can clear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So Kumar is there. Okay. Murali is there. Brahmanyam. Okay. Hastana sir is there. Then, okay. Janardhanan. Varadarajan. Oh, Varadarajan sir is there. Good morning, sir. Muralidharan.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir, some 8 more minutes is there for 7 o'clock. I think whoever is assembled, we can introduce ourselves. We can, so that we can start by 7. You are hearing me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No? Huh? Hello?
Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you.
I can hear you. Governor, what you can do is one person, Governor can start. At least some 8 minutes is there. Let us introduce because some new persons are joined. Let us introduce ourselves, and by 7 o'clock, let us start. And the idea, what we thought is, this is the first meeting of 2023. So let us have an official inauguration of the meeting, and then we will proceed accordingly. I have not posted to all because today I was a little totally busy. I have to go to my hometown for a marriage, and just now only I reached back to Trivandrum. I was driving fast. I was not thinking that I should come at the right time, but I came. So by 7 o'clock, a formal introduction by Asthana sir will be given, and Asthana sir will formally inaugurate the section. Okay, then we should wind up by 8 o'clock. I would like to start from is there. First Governor can introduce.
So I am Gopakumar from LMAG Kerala.
Next, PM Muralidharan, PG Muralidharan sir.
Unmute yourself. You are on mute.
Sorry, good evening, everyone. I am PG Muralidharan, Live Senior Member, working in software, maybe for last 43 years.
Ranjit Boyo.
Pardon me? I think that's all.
Gopakumar. Gopakumar.
Yes.
You just start it up by electric supply has gone here. I will just start the generator and I will be back within 3 minutes. You just start it
Okay,
up.
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
There
Okay.
is no supply.
Next. Mr. Mani. Professor Mani.
Yeah, myself, Mani. I am right now in Pune. I've been with DRDO for a number of years. Earlier portion of my life, I spent at Hyderabad. Now for past about 15 years to 20 years, I've been
I'm back.
from DRDO.
Professor.
So I've been with IEEE for a long time. In fact, I am proud that I was a member of IEEE, and IEEE was formed in 1961. As a student member, I was a student member at that time. When IRE was, I was a member of IRE, then became a member of IEEE, and then of course it discontinued for a long time. And was about 10-15 years I am a member of.
Thank you, Professor Mani. Next, NT Nair.
Yeah. I'm with IEEE for more than 40 years. And I'm proud and happy to say that Kerala section, I was active right from its beginning. When KPP Nambiar was, I hope all of you know KPP Nambiar, Keltron. I was associated with IEEE in a big way. And even now, almost every week we have a get together or a online meeting. I'm happy that this kind of a association and interaction is possible thanks to technologies that have come up of late. Okay.
So Krishnamurthy. Krishnamurthy sir. Okay, Gopalan Nair.
Myself, Gopalan Nair. Some problem is there in my video, so I can hear only. It's a problem. Yeah, I'm working as a member for the last 30 years, out of which more than 26 years as the newsletter editor of Kerala section. Okay, thank you.
Then Asthana ji.
I'm Rajendra Asthana from LMAG Delhi. I have been IEEE members for more than 45 years now. And currently I am the chair of Region 10 Life Member Committee and also a member of MGA Life Member Committee, where I hold the portfolio of awards and recognition.
Well, thank you. Varadarajan sir.
Yeah, I already given my introduction.
Yeah.
I think, see, I have nearly 4 decades of experience. I'm basically electrical engineer. And then I can say this much, I could build my career with the help of IEEE, in the sense, new technology, new things, and new perspectives. Because when I passed out in the year 1971, in electronics, we could study only up to Zener diode. You can see the state of affairs those days. That was the curriculum. Even though transistor had progressed quite a bit beyond Zener diode in 1971, but that was the curriculum those days in the Madras University and Mother University. Thereafter, I joined IEEE in the year 1980s. In the year 1980s, I don't remember the exact year. But then from then on, I've been getting constant updates, constant new things and blogs. Especially Spectrum gives a lot of insight, and very simple and simple language. Spectrum gives, and then because in high-tech items, jargons pose a problem. In that respect, Spectrum is highly simplified for every engineer. Similarly, I'm a member of this IAS, Industrial Application Society. There also very nice articles are published. In fact, a lot of mathematics is removed from that. See, basically, I started as a field engineer, later matured as a design engineer. And then in that case, due to this, so exposure to mathematical functions and those algorithms eluded me right in the early days. Later I could develop. And then this way, I'm very proud to be IEEE member, and now life senior member. And all along, it's very friendly with IEEE. And even in Peninsula, I used to participate. I used to get the magazines from posted across from New York to Peninsula. And that way, I've been very fortunate. And my colleagues at IEEE, very helpful, and very professional. So I'd like to thank you all, and I am waiting eagerly to
Thank you.
hear on this electronic warfare. And that is totally new for me. I'm very eager to hear that. Thanks a lot. Wish you all a good day.
Thank you. Janardhanan P.
Good evening, all of you, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Happy 2023. I joined IEEE in 1884. Now I'm a life senior member. Actually, I graduated from NIT Calicut, then REC in electrical engineering, and took my PG in IIT Bombay in communication engineering, and my doctorate again at NIT Calicut in digital signal processing. So I retired from NIT Calicut now. So retired and working in a private engineering college in nearby. Because it is nearby, I'm engaged that way. So these are the basic details. And the Professor B.K. Damodaran was my teacher at NIT Calicut at that time. And during that time, that is 1963 to 68, there was no IEEE in anyway. In NIT Calicut student chapter was not there. And we had to wait up to 1884, that is a centenary year, to join IEEE. Anyway, since then it was a nice experience, even though I was not very active in the organizational side, but I could benefit a lot from IEEE otherwise. Thank you all.
Thank you. Murali Mohan Lal.
Hello, I'm Murali Mohan Lal. I was in engineering. I was IEEE chair of Kerala Section. A life senior member. It's all.
Thank you. Kishore Arora.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm from DRDO, retired from DRDO, a colleague of Professor Mani. I was the president of IDST, that is Institute of Defense Scientists and Technologists, during 2019-20. I sought voluntary retirement from DRDO way back in 1990, after 22 years of serving DRDO on the missile program also, and then joined the private industry. And I was with the Poonawalla Group in Pune, and later on Forbes Marshall Group in Pune for almost around 22, 23 years. And right from 2012 onwards, I'm a freelancer and giving back to the society in some service projects. I have been indirectly associated with IEEE during the course of my auditing the laboratories as per ISO 17025, but unfortunately, I didn't pick up the membership so far. Thank you.
Thank you. So Janardhanan P.
Yes, already.
Janardhanan.
Hello, I think I already
He has
introduced
already
myself, sir.
Okay, okay.
I already just
Okay.
not for that. Okay.
Sorry, I think it's order is getting changed.
Yes, yes, yes. No problem.
Gaurut. Mute, you're mute. Okay.
I hope it's audible. It's actually PG at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Then specialized there itself under Surgeon Commodore Dev, who was in DRDO in biomedical engineering. Then I was at a CMC, Vellore, as the biomedical engineer. Then from 1982 onwards, I joined Srijitra. From that day onwards, I am in IEEE. And now I am happy that I could organize this one. And now I am a life member from Kerala Section.
Okay. Professor Mohandas.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mohandas KP, was professor and dean in Regional College and later National Institute of Technology from 1969 to 2011. And I had been associated with IEEE from 1981, when we had probably the first student branch in Kerala, in REC at that time. Of course, my major contribution probably in IEEE could be the formation of a Malabar subsection, first subsection for networking of people in the northern part of Kerala. And thanks to India Council, I have been honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award in view of that. I'm now superannuated and staying in Kochi. I had 5 years teaching stint in MES College, Kittipuram, after my retirement. So I'm in Kochi now, still associated with the IEEE as a member at large, and whatever little by way of webinar and all, I'm trying to contribute my fellow volunteers, MR volunteers. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Muralidhar Patkar. Muralidhar Patkar.
Yeah. Good evening to all of you. Yeah. From IEEE Bombay section, I'm the LMAG chair in Bombay. Started IEEE as a student in 1977. 45 years of IEEE volunteering, was India Council and Bombay section chair. And glad to be part of this elite club. And looking forward to more lectures, active participation, and learning newer things when at this time in life. Thank you all.
Thank you. There is one Muralidhar Patkar. It's a different person. You're not Muralidhar. Muralidhar Patkar.
Okay.
No, so I didn't realize there was such a person, so I introduced myself anyway. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You are coming next.
Patkar is a friend of mine. He's not a member of IEEE, but I had invited him. I had put this in various other forums, and I think he has joined.
It was nice, sir. It was nice inviting. We should invite those interested persons. It was nice. Unnikrishnan?
Hi,
okay.
If I introduce Mr. Dr. Patkar, he's specialized in armament and explosives in DRDO. He has retired a couple of years back, and he had developed a lot of interest in counseling, and he got his master's degree in psychology, and he's having his clinic, and he's very actively involved in IDST, conducting lectures for various programs. That's what I would like to introduce him in a short way. Thank you.
Just to add on one point about Dr. Patkar. He has been my colleague at AIT also, and though he is not an IEEE member himself, he has been contributing to many of the IEEE activities at Pune. Just wanted to add.
So hi.
Hello.
Unnikrishnan. Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Unnikrishnan. I was last year IEEE Kerala Section, and I retired from Sri Lanka as senior director. I was a student of Professor Mohandas at NIT graduate. I passed out from NIT Calcutta in 1977, and I did my postgraduate degree from IIT Madras. I did my work in Anna University, and I have been associating with IEEE Kerala Section in various positions. Now I'm not very active, though I'm attending all meetings. Thank you.
Sundaresan sir has already told, already introduced. Yeah.
Not audible. Not audible, sir.
Your mic is
Sundaresh.
on, but it is not audible.
I'm Sundaresh. Now are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundaresh from LMAG Madras section. I have worked for DRDO for about 4 decades, and now I'm fairly reasonably active after post-retirement in IT. Thank you.
Suhair is there.
Hello.
Venkatrao was introduced once. I don't think we have to call him again.
You can ask anybody else who has not introduced. Anybody else who has not introduced?
Yes, I did not.
Yeah.
Namurti. Yeah, my name is Prabhakaran.
Yeah, good evening. Can I talk?
Yeah, Prabhakaran sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm K. Krishnamurthy from Chennai. I passed out of IIT Madras and worked there for a few years. Later, I switched to computer software, worked for companies in Mumbai and Chennai. I also did some consulting work. I am a life member for the past 5-6 years. I became a senior member around 1990. This is briefly my introduction. If you have any queries, you want to know a little more, yeah, please let me know.
Prabhakaran sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, I am Prabhakaran. I am a life senior member, and I retired from NIT Calicut in 2001. I worked in Singapore and Malaysia for about 10 years. Now I am settled down. I am the secretary of the LMAG from this year onwards. Okay, thank you.
Go check. Anybody else?
Suhair
is already.
Suhair only from phone number. Phone identification is there. Names are not there.
Just ask. Anybody else want to introduce? You can introduce because already it's 7:12. We have to start the meeting. Okay, so let us start the meeting in between, or else then we can have it up. Is there? And okay, first thing, let me is the welcome address, and all respected senior members of LMAG. See, I am really happy to see this moment here, because this time we had an attendance of 21. That is starting of 2023 itself. Is it like this? So with the help of everybody, we could get members together and we can have a meeting. Welcome to this one. And because this is a family meeting, there is no need of telling anybody's name, including I welcome all members. And next, I request Asthana sir to give a small presentation and officially, officially announce that this program for 2023 is inaugurated. over to Asthana sir.
Thank you, Karan. I would like to say, when it asked me to say something, I thought, let me tell how LMAGs in India stand worldwide. When we look from region 10 angle, we look from MGA angle, and also from IEEE India Council, because I served for most of my time in IEEE India Council. I think it's around 24 to 26 years. I don't exactly remember. Very on and off, I have been associated with India Council. Now, coming back to the topic, I would just like to tell, most of you know, there are 7 LMAGs in India: Delhi, Kerala, Hyderabad, Madras, Calcutta, Bombay, and Bangalore. And when we look globally, since the onset of Corona, we went into online mode. So suddenly, with going into online mode, our activities started manifold. In the first year in 2021, we had 209 activities, and in 2022, it jumped to 267. And hello.
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 Yes.
I think
Hello.
lot of noise is coming. Are you able to hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Yes. So out of this 267 activities, major chunk of contributions come from region 10, and out of region 10 also it is coming from India, because there are 4 LMAGs in India who did more than 6 activities during 22. In fact, 2 LMAGs at Delhi and Kerala, they had 70 plus activities for 2022, and 2 more LMAGs at Hyderabad and Madras, they have done more than 6. It is a real achievement for Hyderabad, because they have not been performing well for last 3 years. Suddenly, they jumped to this position where they could carry out more than 6 activities during the year 2022. Only we are lagging with 3 LMAGs, that is Bangalore, Bombay, and Calcutta. They are still to reach double figures. I hope with this new concept of LMAG India, they will also achieve the target and contribute significantly to the activities of Region 10. Now, as on 2022, Region 10 has 2,500 life members, and most of the life members are not very large number. There are only 4 sections. In Region 10, we have more than 100 members. Tokyo is 800 plus, New South Wales is 200 plus, Kansai is 180 plus, and Victoria is 100 plus. Whereas in India, we have not touched the figure of 100 so far. We are running with very small number of activities, members in 2 digits, and still we are able to perform wonderfully well. Just to tell you, Bangalore has 38 members, Bombay 29, Delhi 42, Hyderabad 29, Kerala 25, Kolkata 36, and Madras 33. With these small numbers, we are able to do so many activities. Then, when I started first time in 2019, that MGA has decided to give incentive to those LMAGs who have done 6 or more activities during the year. So in 2005, LMAGs in Region 10 qualified for this incentive. In 2021, it has gone up to 8. And I'm happy to say in 2022, the number has gone up to 10. And if we continue, I think we'll be on the rising trend. When we have MGA meetings, our Region 10 is on the top with 269 activities. The next LMAG is any region is 168. Rest all is in 2 digits. So in fact, we are leading the number of activities in whole of IEEE. Now in LMAGs have also grown up. 3 years back, it was 16. In 3 years, that is 20, 21, and 22, it has grown to 23. Now, we already talked about, some of you in the initial talks, that we started life member track in Region 10 flagship conferences. And in 2022, we have 2 life member tracks in 2 conferences. In 2023, we plan life member track in all 3 Region 10 conferences during 2023. Now, this Region 10 holds a SYWL Congress every 2 years, and this year's Congress 2022 was held at Jeju, which was attended mostly by Indian sections. Out of 129 or so, there are more than 50 delegates from India. And the 3 Indian sections which participated were Gujarat, Delhi, Kerala, Hyderabad, and Bombay. And other than these Indian sections, only Australia, Tokyo, and Korea participated. Now in India, we have annual conference, All India SYWL conference every year. The last year it was held at Pune, and it was well attended by almost all LMAGs, and there is a good show put up by LMAGs on the pattern of Region 10. There is no bias for any track. All tracks, students, YPs, WI, and life members have been given equal opportunity to present the tracks. And this 2023, I hope it will be much better. We'll have better participation from almost all LMAGs which could not participate in last SYWL Congress. With this is about the status of LMAGs in India and how we stand compared to Region 10 and worldwide. Now I'd request Koruth, just one suggestion from my side. Why not you start a LMAG meet? That will bring LMAGs closer. Maybe to start with, maybe half-yearly or an annual meet. Let us plan a LMAG meet of all LMAGs in India. That will be, I think, a good starting point and bring all LMAGs closer. With this, I just say as an inauguration to LMAG activities 2023 in India. Thank you.
Kurtu, you are muted.
Okay, sir. Good. See, since it was already 20 minutes over, so I'm handing over to Sundaresan sir to introduce the speaker and very briefly introduce the speaker, and so that he needs a time. Over to Dr. Sundaresan.
Thank you, Mr. Kurut. It's a privilege for me to introduce Professor Mani to all the participants, because he has been my senior in DRDO for more than a decade, and I have been knowing him for a few decades, the last few decades. There, just to go through this quickly, his brief biodata. Professor Mani had his basic degree from University of Mysore, then did his engineering from MIT Chennai and MTech from IIT Delhi. He joined Defense Electronics Research Laboratory DLR at DRDO at Hyderabad as junior scientific officer, and retired as director and dean at the Institute of Power and Technology in Pune. At DRDO, he worked on many radar and EW projects, and he was also head of training activities of DRDO scientists for many years. Later, he was a professor emeritus for 6 years, principal of an engineering college for 2 years, and advisor for a leading professional institution for 1 year. He has been examiner, gate, and selection panelist for PhD in many universities. He received an award from President of India, from Governor of Maharashtra, from IEEE, and from Defense Electronic Manufacturing Association. He received an appreciation certificate from Professor M.G.K. Menon for his services to defense electronics in 2004. And he has been a great volunteer of IEEE. He has been very active for the last few decades. And because when he came to the AISWL, to see his popularity among all the Pune IEEE volunteers and the IEEE members, they are very well, he's very, very comfortable with him, and they all know him very well. and they are all very grateful to him for his guidance over the last. And he is all of us look forward to knowledge, whatever Professor Mani is going to give us on the electronic warfare. It's a purely different subjects, but it will be a very interesting technology, which all of you must be eager to listen to. So over to Professor Mani.
Thank you very much, Sundresh, and thank you, Asana sir, for the wonderful information that gave us about the LMAG. And let me also wish a happy New Year, because this is the first time all of us are meeting in the New Year. A happy New Year to all of you, and hope this effort of Dr. Korutu go a long way to build a network of all LMAGs in India. With this, let me straight away get to this one. I think I'll be able to share my screen. Let me know if screen is okay. Are you able to see the screen? Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think let me start off. Greetings to all my colleagues. And so my topic, as I said, is an electronic warfare. To give an overview, right from how it started and where are we now. As we know, Ukraine is something very hot going on. Even yesterday we had some news about it, and probably today morning also we had some news about it. All that happening there. I thought it may be whatever little bit I know, I thought I'll share with all of you. With this, let me start off. But before I start, I take blessings from my parents, because this is the first slide I always show in all my presentations also. And I think this is a very important, according to me, it's the most important slide. With this, let me go further ahead. So what I plan to do is that we quickly cover these aspects. What is EW? And probably what is not EW. I think this is important to know, because many people get confused, especially those who are not connected with defense. They think everything warfare is about killing, whereas it is not. I will come to that. And something about EW technologies. Then over the years, over the wars, how did it go? And coming to the latest one, Russia-Ukrainian war, and what next. So what is EW? Well, I'm not interested in some big definitions and things like that. So I will quickly say that EW basically consists of three things: electronic support. I would also call it electronic support and surveillance, electronic protection, and electronic attack. And of course, tactics is another portion of it. We'll quickly see what does it all mean. Again, as I say, I'm not interested in big definitions. So many of things will be in a way that people will be able to understand and appreciate what is the thing behind it, rather than going through the rigid definitions. So electronic warfare support or surveillance, ES is generally called, includes all electronic actions to search or intercept, identify hostile electronic sources. Well, I think this figure, I hope everybody is able to see. This figure, I hope everybody is able to see. And self-explanatory, you can always, this is the line, this is V. I think in this context, you all understand what is V and what is day. Day is always red, V is always green. Okay. Now, across the border, there are a lot of hostile chaotic emitters or electronic emitters, which can be in form of communication, it can be in form of radar, it can be telemetry, whatever it is. So these are the hostile elements which are causing some problem, electronic problems for us. So now, this is electronic warfare support or surveillance system. It's having a look of what are the electronic activities that are going on the other side. In a way, it's surveillance of all electronic activities which are going across the border, right? Sitting right from Hyderabad or Pune or Delhi or maybe Chennai. So that is what it is. So what it means is search for what are the activities, intercept. Intercept means, okay, intercept the electronic activity and identify what it is. Is it a radar? If it is a communication equipment, what sort of radar? Is it a ground-based radar? Is it an airborne radar? What sort of activities involved? Where is it located? Things like that. All these things about all the electronic things are happening across the border without going into them. Right, sitting in our own place safely, we are trying to monitor and get an idea. Why is it required? Because we have to plan. Today, it's a era of electronics everywhere. Warfare is full of electronics. So unless we know what our neighbors or a hostile country has got, we cannot plan our things. So that is the reason there is a surveillance or search. So it's called electronics. And it is not, let me repeat what it is, what EW is not. Electronic search is not somebody going like a James Bond story, going inside their place and finding out. It's not that. It's sitting right in my own place, trying to monitor the signals and finding out what sort of equipment the other man has got. That is what is electronic support. Then we come to the second aspect of EW, which is called electronic attack. Again, please refer to the figure here. Well, this is the electronic support system which has acquired all the information about what sort of equipment they have got. And now let's say, imagine a situation where our aircraft is trying to go through, let us say, something like what we have been repeatedly hearing is the surgical strike. They think this brain behind surgical strike is electronic warfare. So in the surgical strike, I'm taking it as a typical case. There are so many other things, but I'm just taking it because that's known to people. So when an aircraft is entering into a hostile territory, probably for some activity, let's not look into that aspect of it. It is being monitored by the enemy sources like the radar or whatever it is. So now, use of electromagnetic energy, use of electromagnetic against these radars is what is called electronic attack. It is attacking. It is an electronic. It is not physical attacking. It is not destroying anything. It is only to degrade, neutralize, or destroy electronic. Degrade means reduces power, reduces character. Let's say a radar, enemy radar has got a range of 100 kilometers. Supposing the sun means you are able to reduce it at 20 kilometers, you have got a space of 80 kilometers where you can. So that is the advantage you are getting, and that is what EW system is. Similarly, neutralize. Neutralize means what? Neutralize means yes, that radar system is working, but can you circumvent it? Can you circumvent it? And probably by some means see that the radar is ineffective during that time of attack. And that time of attack is a very important word which I use here, because when you are when a fast-moving aircraft is moving around, probably to cover about say 100 kilometers, it takes a few minutes. Now, if those 2 minutes, few minutes, that radar is made ineffective, that is enough. It is not. It need not destroy the radar. It need not. You need not bombard it with some missile, destroy the radar. You just say make it ineffective for that small portion. That's all done. Okay. So that is what neutralizes. So jammer is specifically trying to. A simple example from a layman, say, okay, supposing a policeman wants to catch a thief in the dark night. One thing what we can do is the policeman suddenly is just hiding behind, thief is also hiding. They're unable to see each other. The policeman knows that there is a thief. What does it do? He flashes a big, very high intensity light on the face of the thief. Once that is done, that the thief dazzles out. He just cannot see. So during that small bit of a time, that he's still to stabilize attacking. That is the basic principle of jamming. Of course, I'm thinking a very simple example. There are umpteen ways of jamming, but I'm just saying a simple example. So this sort of a thing, that is what I said, degrade, neutralize, or nothing is possible to destroy the electromagnetic source for the time. So all this is called soft kill. Generally, warfare, people associate with violence, people associate with killing, whereas electronic warfare is the tool in warfare where minimum what you can say, minimum killing takes place, because it's all towards electronic equipment only. You are only destroying electronic equipment. Collateral damage is reduced. This is very important. Today's world, winning a war is not just by gaining some territory. There is a lot of political pressure. Political pressure comes around, there is a lot of collateral damage. Some hospitals are damaged, some civilians are damaged, some trains are damaged, means you get a bad name. Whereas if a military installation is damaged, that means your EW system is working perfectly well. You are able to damage that which is required to be damaged in the facility. Whereas lateral damage is. So electronic warfare is essentially a warfare where the human element is removed out, only you are attacking the equipment. That is why I said people should know the difference between warfare and electronic warfare. A missile doesn't look what sort of a target is there. It's a human being, it's a building, it's a school, it's a hospital or a military installation. It does not look into it. It attacks. Whereas electronic warfare is only meant towards electronic warfare. Finally, electronic protection is something different, where enemy is equally intelligent as you are. He is trying to attack. When he is trying to attack our own radars, can we protect ourselves against this? What sort of things could be done? What sort of protection must be given? Electronic protection must be given, which is called electronic protection. So these three aspects make up electronic. Electronic support or surveillance, electronic attack, which is something akin to jamming, and that is electronic protection of power. These three things make electronic warfare. And now, let's compare it with what we know generally. What generally we all know. We all know about one thing: communication. What is communication? Communication between a transmitter and a receiver. Now, transmitter transmits, receiver receives. Now, communication between two known parties, what in our terminology called friendly sources. They know each other. They know at what frequency they are operating. So know what sort of modulations are being done. So the receiver can easily be tuned to receive what is required. So there's a friendly thing between the transmitter and receiver in general in all communications. As far as defense communications, and the two major issues of secrecy, of course, that's very important as far as defense is concerned, and of course reliability. These are the two issues. Well, second major system about which all of us know is radar system. Radar is, of course, more specific to defense, but of course it is being used at many other places. We're not going to go details. But essentially, how does the radar work? Radar sends out a pulse. The transmitter here sends out a pulse. The pulse hits a target like an aircraft. Pulse comes back, and the time taken for the pulse to travel from the transmitter, go to the aircraft and come back, that is noted down. And once that time is known, you know how far is the aircraft. So to detect and to get details about unknown target, that's what radar system does. Let us look at the implications here. You are sending out a frequency F. Same frequency goes itself and comes back. So your receiver can be tuned to that frequency. So that much problem is almost like whatever happened in communication. But only problem here is you do not know what is the enemy, what is the target. Is the enemy's target, our own target? Where is it located? In which angle is it located? What speed it's going? Nothing is known. You are trying to find out. So that is the problem. That is the issue with radar. Now let's compare these two with the electronic warfare. I've already told you what is electronic warfare, and the crux of electronic warfare lies in the electronic surveillance system, or we call it as electronic intelligence system, ELINT system, or electronic surveillance system, or electronic support system, all in the same. But broadly means that. As I said, I'm not going to the definition portion. I'm not going to go through micro aspect, but broadly, they're all meanings. Now here, let's look at it. This is what our system, electronic warfare system is here. And this is the enemy's transmitter. We are trying to find out what he is. We are trying to find out details about him. Sitting here, it may be 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. Sitting here and trying to find out what sort of transmitters here. Okay, so objective is to obtain information about unknown emitter. These are called emitters, unknown emitter. We do not know what is the frequency, so we have to find out what is his frequency. We do not know his characteristics. Is it the digital one? Mostly all are digital. So we can say what is the pulse width, what is the pulse repetition frequency, what sort of modulations are used. Nothing is known. And of course, we don't also know is located. Is it located in Karachi? Is it within Rawalpindi? Is it located in Afghanistan border? Or where is it located? I'm sorry, I'm using fake news because we are all familiar with our general hostile nature. Having said this, we may also know whether that fellow exists or not. We do not even know that. So sitting thousands of kilometers away, I had to find out what sort of an electronic emitter is across the border. That is the question. That is the reason the tactics used, the technology used, the specific technology, I would say general technology we'll discuss today, but specific technologies are very, very, very confidential. The utmost confidentiality comes to electronic warfare system. So I'm happy here to say that most of the systems that our country possesses are all indigenous. Because whatever we buy, generally in electronic warfare is only second rate, third rate, fourth rate. What we develop is our own. We are proud of it. I am happy to know that both my colleagues, Muralidharan from TCS, as TCS, isn't it, or L&T?
No, sir, the Tata Advanced Systems.
Okay, yeah. And Sundaresh, all of us have been working in some projects somewhere or other about 20, 30 years back. Some of the EW system. Well, having said that, let's go. Okay, having given a broad background of what is it all about, what are the technologies involved? Okay, first and foremost, you must have a receiver to receive, to find out what sort of transmission is taking place. So obviously it must be a receiver. Now, what type of receiver? It must be very high sensitivity receiver, obviously, because we are thousands of kilometers away. We do not even know, let me put, we do not even know whether that one is transmitting or not. And whether where he is located is also not known. So we are, what is sensitivity? High, in a very, very broad term, high sensitivity. High sensitivity leads what we studied in our electronics engineering maybe 30, 40, 50 years back. Super receiver. Fundamental super receiver. Well, but the problem here is that it has to cover a very, very, very wide range. The wide range generally happens to be somewhere in gigahertz range from 1 to 18 gigahertz or 1 to 40 gigahertz. Gigahertz is kilohertz is 10 to the power of 3 hertz. Megahertz is 10 to the power of 6. Gigahertz 10 to the power of 9. Gigahertz is 10 to the power of 9 hertz. So we generally, most of the radar, most of the communication systems nowadays operate at these gigahertz frequencies because of various other reasons, because of the various advantages. Now, having said that, that means the ELINT receiver, electronic intelligence receiver, must operate over very, very, very wide, right from 1 to 18 gigahertz. That was what we were working when I was in service. Now we are working up to 1 gigahertz of the range. So typical multi-channel tunable super receiver with a very high sensitivity operating in this complete frequency band. That is the first technology. Then instantaneous frequency measurement system. We have to find out at what frequency the enemy is operating. So we have to find out his frequency, and we have to find out instantaneously. And this coverage has to be again multi-octave. Octave is 1:2. Multi-octave is 1:4, 1:8, 1:16. As you said, 1 to 18 gigahertz was 1:18 gigahertz. That is the 1 to 40, 1 gigahertz to 40 gigahertz, 1:40. That is the range on which we have to operate. And instantaneously, we have to find out what is the frequency. And frequency generally is the resolution, or I should say, accuracy requirements of about 2.5 megahertz. So 2.5 megahertz is the resolution required over I'd say about 10 gigahertz or 15 gigahertz. That is the order. That is the accuracy. Next, biggest challenge technology says pulse sorter. Now, electronic equipment is everywhere. Now, almost every electronic equipment works on digital, so that means pulses are involved. So there are millions of pulses coming in, of the order of 100,000 pulses per second. So this receiver sitting in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Chennai or somewhere else will be receiving hundreds of thousands of pulses per second. They have to sort it out. Are they coming from a radar in Karachi or Lahore or anywhere else? Or is it a communication equipment? Or it may be, is it our own equipment somewhere else? So these pulses have to be sorted out, what we call as bins, like a post office, like a sorting out in our post office. There are a lot of bins in which they are put. Okay, it's likely to be a radar. It's likely to be a radar in this place, probably this frequency range, like the characters. This is what typical pulse sorter, which pulse sorter or identifier, which has to identify pulses at the rate of about 100,000 pulses. Next, we come to instantaneous pulse profiling. What do you mean by profiling? That means every pulse, you have to find out what is its frequency, what is its amplitude, what is its pulse width. These are the three major parameters. So there are others we will not bother about them right at this stage. So what is the pulse frequency? What is the pulse amplitude? What is the pulse width? Well, amplitude, not much of an importance in AW. For various other reasons, we will not go into that right now. Frequency is very important. That is why the previous slide I showed an instantaneous frequency measurement. Instantaneous, when I say, that means within this pulse, you see the pulses within the pulse, I have to find out. Before the pulse ends, I have to find out. What is the pulse width? It's on the order of few nanoseconds. So that is the challenge. That is the technology which is involved in it. All this leads to what we call as radar fingerprinting. Just as we got fingerprinting is now well known for all of us, because whenever we go through any airport, anywhere else, we got our fingerprinting. So here, EW system fingerprints a radar. It takes all the characters, put it into this one, and finds out what sort of a radar is it. Is it a ground-based radar? Is it a radar with a short range? Is it a radar specifically meant for tracking certain moving objects? Is it meant for surveillance across the border? What is the type of radar? And that you find out by finding out the radar fingerprinting. And fingerprinting, mind you, the remote fingerprinting, because we are in our territory and we are looking at a radar. I'm using the term radar because it is it's a typical electronic equipment as far as war is concerned. So radar fingerprinting is one of the major technologies. Well, there are the micro circuits. Most of the circuits that you saw, instantaneous frequency measurement systems and things like that, all are working at gigahertz frequencies. MIC and MMIC, MIC is microwave integrated circuit, and millimetric wave integrated circuit. These are the things which are operating, and these are very high technologies. And materials come into picture: gallium arsenide and so on and so forth. Then we come to antennas. Different types of antennas. Antenna, we say, we look at simplest is a dipole antenna, probably all of us studied in our engineering colleges. We're all familiar with the parabolic dish antenna on the top of our houses for the reading the for the TV and things like that. Okay. Here we use all unconventional type of receiving. In fact, these antennas which you see here are all very unconventional. They're called spiral antennas, conical spiral antennas, so on and so forth. Very, very specialized because they have to operate over a very, very large bandwidth. And also specialized coverages are required. So that is why these are very unconventional type of receiving. On the other side, jamming. When you want to jam, again, we have to cover a large frequency range, large bandwidth. Because why large bandwidth is required? In this game of electronic warfare, the enemy is as intelligent as you are. This is the first assumption we have to make. So that means when he's operating at frequency F1 and we try to jam at frequency F1, he tries to change his frequency to F2. So we must be able to jam in frequency F2 also. That means we must be able to quickly switch on to different frequencies or cover a wide frequency. So that is these are the implications, these are the complexities involved in antenna jamming antennas. Multi-beam antennas, multi-beam jammers. It's not a single beam, multiple beam. A typical example is what you see a ship here. You can see aft, starboard, port, and forward. You can see different systems, well coordinated different systems. This is what I would say. And one point which you must remember is jamming is a very important aspect. And for jamming, you must know exactly the input from the LINT system. The LINT system must provide you exact frequency, other details. Then you can jam perfectly. Otherwise, just look at otherwise what happens. Otherwise, it is like what we say in Hindi, how by the mark. Because when you are jamming when you probably are entering into enemy space. That means you are very close to him. You are a risk. Now at that time, if you are not jamming, that means you are silent. Radio silence is maintained. People do not know where you are unless their radar is operating. And you have jammed, his radar is, let us say, is not operating. That time, unfortunately, if you start jamming wrongly, that means you are sending out a very high burst of signal wrongly, then what happens? It is just like saying, oh, well, mujhe maar. You are in his territory and he is just a catch. And that is the death warrant. It's called a death warrant when you jam and not. So, not required means at the wrong time. That means the tactics is very important. You will see some examples of war. And at the same time, input must come to the LINT system saying that this is exact frequency that you must jam, this is the pulse width that you will jam, this is the location at which you have to jam. Otherwise, if that LINT system is not working properly, missiles cannot, or any other offensive operation cannot be successful. EW is the brain behind a successful mission. Having said that, a typical naval ASM system looks like this. Well, please do not take the numbers as one. It is all very indicative numbers. It operates at very large frequencies. It operates over a different, complete azimuth of 360 degrees, some elevation angle. Polarization, I didn't talk about polarization, it's also another important. Sensitivity is important, pulse width, traffic, etc., etc., etc. We saw the whole thing. Whenever you see a ship, probably the highest point where you will see electronic warfare. And I'm happy to say that I've been associated with electronic warfare and antennas for almost more than 3 decades. The integrate, now we talked about one system. An integrated naval system consists of electronic warfare, which has been put in the some sort of big ship like a destroyer, and a corvette, a smaller ship, maybe in a smaller aircraft like a Dornier, in a helicopter, in a bigger aircraft like an IL-38, which is a aircraft, which is a aircraft carrier, which is a it's a big aircraft. Now, and also it can be a submarine. So all this integratedly work. So an integrated system looks for not just one system, it looks for multiple systems. And mind you, later on, this naval system works in coordination with air-based system, airborne system or ground-based. That is the complexity of electronic warfare. I've given you some background. Let's look at some stories. I think it was a bit technological. Now we can look at some stories, interesting stories. The rain in Ukraine. That's why I said, I called it the rain in Ukraine because rain, as many of you might have seen, rain is a river which goes across right in Europe, right from top to bottom. Maybe covers, definitely covers Holland, Germany, France, Switzerland, okay, many other countries. Rain goes through this. And rain river has witnessed many, many wars, right from the time of French-Dutch war around 1600s. And of course, World War I, 1918, 1945, World War II. Well, on the other side, Ukraine, I think Ukraine has been in news almost every day. This is Ukraine and this is Russia, and these portions are where the concentration is going on now between the Ukraine and more or less. I think this place has already been occupied by Russia, most of the things, and Ukraine is trying to get back some of these areas. So, the story is from rain, right from the say 1700, 1800 onwards. That is the story. I hope I have got some time because we started quite late. Is it okay if I can continue for another 15, 20 minutes?
We can take a little more, sir.
Sorry? I can continue for 15, 20 minutes? Okay, so probably the first jamming in warfare was reported somewhere in 1904, the Russian-Japanese war, mainly to gain tactical advantage. Well, essentially, it's a cat and mouse story. Electronic warfare is a cat and mouse. We will see that. Not with the radar. The first use of application of radio waves to radar. Radar is radio detection and ranging. Detection, radio, using radio waves to detect an aircraft or any other object, and ranging to find out its location, find out its distance. Okay? That is radar. So now, Christian Westmeyer from Germany, he was the first person to have an application of radio waves for radar in 1904, which he called a telemobiliscope. The range was about 3 km. Obviously, it was German, and this is a patent. So now, when Germans have been working on this, people cannot be lagging behind. So, British Royal Radar Establishment, that is the major establishment. I had the fortune to visit that place quite some time back. So, So there, they started working, and essentially they started with this gentleman, Robert Watson Watt, who was, I think he was an Air Force officer, I'm not very sure, but however, he was given a contract. He said he was a scientist, so he said, okay, why don't you find out a death ray which can kill a sheep at 100 yards distance? Okay. And for that, he was given 1,000 pounds as a prize money. Unfortunately, he came out, his investigation said it is not adequate. I cannot generate adequate power to kill a sheep at 100 yards. That was his report. As luck could have it, or as things went on, okay, he was made in charge for a first set of radars, what is called as a floodlight train home radars. A network of 18 of them were built under his leadership, under his guidance, across the English coast. They were operating at 20 to 30 megahertz, 350 some hours, and with a distance of, with a range of about 200 miles. That's how the whole thing started. Okay. Now, later, of course, this was integrated into a jammer. Well, what happened on the other side? As I said, it's a cat and story. Germans, they had built some radars which are operating, ground-based radars operating about 120 megahertz, shipborne radars at about 300 odd megahertz, and anti-aircraft spying system. They had a very good, strong technical base. So, looking at what was happening on the German side, British came around, having seen that they have got some Freya as a ground-based radar. These people came around with an airborne noise jammer to jam this Freya. Noise jammer to counter German Freya radars, which was probably first known electronic attack. Electronic attack is jamming, and which operated over this frequency band. The power, just note this power, 12 watts. Today we are operating at megawatts and so on. Well, so having seen that British have developed this, the Germans, what did they do? They increased the Freya range, what was somewhere around 120, increased it, increase the frequency range of Freya radar, and reduce. Once you increase the the jamming capability of the enemy comes down, because he cannot produce that much of power at that higher frequency. So it reduced the jamming susceptibility. That was a part of it. So these are terminology which I had used earlier: electronic attack, electronic protection. All these were, this whole thing started. Well, at this point, a new kind of countermeasure against radar came into play, which we call as chaff. Chaff is something like this. It's an aircraft. A balloon is an aircraft. Just say, it's not a balloon, but I'm just saying it for the sake of easy understanding. You attach a balloon to this, so that a radar which is tracking, instead of tracking the aircraft, the radar, the other side, the hostile radar, is tracking the aircraft, not tracking the balloon. Some sort of a camouflage. So that means to lose track of the aircraft. And that's how heavy the. Now, this is sort of electronic attack, and so after some debate over using it, they were deployed in and proved very effective against German. The German had produced all the three radars very, very, very effective. So these British take them on attack. Well, of course, it's not a balloon, as I said. Generally, it's made up of small metallic, say, patches. Okay? So these are diffused. Hundreds and thousands of them are diffused, so that it forms some sort of a cloud, metallic cloud, which has got as much of a reflectivity as an aircraft. Now, so this metallic cloud, the radar gets confused, and it starts tracking the metallic cloud, thinking that is aircraft. Chaff became a very important part of electronic warfare. So EW became a cat and mouse game. The pendulum swung between EP to EA, back to EP, etc. Electronic protection, electronic attack, back and forth. Measures, countermeasures, countermeasures. To put it in short, German had several systems in operation. They were all very high technological superior. They had very high gain rotating antennas. They had higher frequency operation, superior range, bearing accuracies were high, very good multiple use system for detection, for anti-aircraft gun targeting, bombing, etc., etc., etc. But the only problem was could not work in good coordination. If you recollect my first slide, I said three aspects: electronic support, electronic attack, and electronic protection. Third one, which I did not talk much about, is the using it. That is where the problem here. Repeatedly, you can see in history that tactics plays an important role. The man behind the machine. Whereas Britishers had only one system, sophisticated, coordinated plan for use of the system, highly trained staff. That's very, very important. EW, when it has to be used, then it should not be used, should not be. Highly trained staff and communication, good backup systems, anti-jamming, redundancy, etc. That was the plus point for British. So, as World War II, we came to air systems like cavity magnetron, which could produce much higher power, my higher frequency, vacuum tubes to use for high sensitivity receivers, display technologies better, PPI and things like that, and superior type of antennas, rotating systems, control systems, etc. So, we will look at the various wars. Korean War. In the Korean War, B-29 is a heavy bomber. US had more than hundreds of them. And to counter that, North Koreans had radar-controlled anti-aircraft. There was a radar behind. That radar was controlling the anti-aircraft, and so you can shoot it down. So these are those things. So US forces, now to protect this one, they could have used SHAB. They could have used SHAB, but they were not allowed to use SHAB. Why? Because US thought Korea is not that big an enemy. Russia is a bigger enemy. If I use SHAB, if they come to know of the tactics that they are using, and if that is used against the Koreans, then the bigger enemy, Russia, will come to know of it. So they reserved for a potential conflict with the Soviet Union. As a result, unacceptable losses of aircraft for US. Same thing is the story of surface-to-air missiles. Russia had built many surface-to-air missiles, extremely good at that time. In fact, some of us had the opportunity to look at them. In fact, I had the opportunity to dissect them to see whether they can be adapted for Indian conditions. And so there was for the Russian radars to counter that. USA came around U2. I think many of you might have heard it in your younger days. U2 was a reconnaissance aircraft, which was an extremely well-built EW suit. Had everything possible to counter a radar. Everything that was required for countering a radar. But again, in spite of this, after a few successful flights, U2 was shot down. And once one U2 was shot down, this led to US government ban of using U2 over the Soviet Union. How they called, the Soviets could extract all the EW technology that US aircraft and put it. But one aircraft is lost, they will re-engineer. The enemy will look at it, dissect it, re-engineer it, and use it against you. Because it's like a chess game where enemy comes to know what you are going to do next move. He takes over. He has got upper hand. So you cannot afford to lose a EW equipment in the enemy territory. And that is what happened in Ukraine. I'll just come to that later. Vietnam War, the longest and costliest war with 3 million people dead, including 58,000 Americans with all their might. 58,000 Americans were lost. 3 million people dead. 4,700 plus US aircraft shot down. Shot down by what? Not big artillery. They were all shot down by fighters, ICAC guns, small arms, and surface airmen. US wanted to keep the Soviet Union and China out of the conflict, also reduce adverse public opinion. That is where the whole thing starts, adverse public opinion. So, with adverse public opinion comes and the collateral damage. So, during the AW development, started radar warning receivers. Small receivers which can put on a aircraft. This can warn. There is a radar here. Broadly, it will not go to micro analysis. It will just give a broad idea. This is a radar. That is the information. Then got a tactical jamming pod. Jamming pod is something that means you might have seen on the aircraft below that something is hanging. Here, if you see this picture, this is a pod. What you do is, before a mission takes place, you fix a pod. The pod, okay, the mission says you have to go, probably there's a radar R1, which is at this space, and you have to overcome that. So you put a pod, which is based on, which is there to circumvent radar 1. So exactly that sort of pod is put, which is to tackle the radar which is on the opposite side. So that particular mission-oriented, mission-customized pods are built, and it's quickly done in 2 minutes. That's why it's called quick reaction capability. So a pod is taken out, the other pod is put, again the kite takes off. This pod has got the jammer. These developments during the Vietnam. Then came Yom Kippur, which is 1973, Syria and Israel. And Syria, Russian supported semi-active radar homing missiles, SA-6, and shoulder-held IR, infrared anti-missile. Man-portable shoulder, we can see that. You can shoot from here, put an aircraft. Now, this Syria had. So Israel, which was a mighty, which was supported by US, all of us know, facing these new threats, Israelis initially suffered heavy losses. They lost as many as 80 aircraft lost in just 1 week. Whole US was surprised. What is this? And such a mighty force, Israel, losing 80 aircraft against some is Syria. Of course, Syria was supported by Russia, but what was it due to? Because EW unpreparedness. Israel was not prepared. So, having painfully learned from this experience, Israel invested heavily in C-cubed-I. C-cubed-I is computer communication control and intelligence, EW systems, airborne rocket, artillery-propelled suppression, intelligence gathering, planning and training. All this heavily invested in this one, which resulted in 82 conflicts. Okay? Which they were much better in 82. Then came the Gulf War. Gulf War essentially is believed that it was created to test whatever EW equipment USA had possessed. There was no ground to test. There are many companies which had produced excellent EW equipment, but there is no way of testing other than simulation. Real life testing went on to the Gulf. Well, many reconnaissance aircraft comments and comment is communication, secondary signal intelligence equipment. Then high resolution reconnaissance aircraft, which could gather online intelligence and then pose it on via data link to ground station. Now, slightly sophistications are increasing. So it collects the information, looking at the ground-based enemies targets, enemies emitters, and then passes on to its own friendly aircrafts. And they take them. Well, so many other things like the satellites, spy satellites which came into orbit KH-12. Then there were the different type of escort jammers, stand-off jammers, escort jammers, are specialized jammers. Stand-off jammers is like this. The attack aircraft goes ahead, and standoff is somewhere behind this, which jams the enemy, which is right inside, let's say, Jodhpur or Jaipur or even Agra. Our aircraft is that which jams the enemy, well, whereas the fighter aircraft goes in front. That is a standoff jammer, escort jammer, so many things are there. Well, other byproducts, very low radar infrared signature, what is generally known as stealth aircrafts. Then came unmanned decoys. Then came different type of tags. In fact, one type of tag, which what was done, as I said, trap is metallic particles. They were thrown over so that in San Jose area, in San Diego area, there was electrical shortage. The electrical lines, they got shorted. And there was a total power failure. Then, of course, chips, computers, they came into big way. And well, this was World War II. For destroying a railroad bridge, 4,500 sorties were required. Vietnam War, 90 aircraft. In 1999, Yugoslavia, single aircraft, one cruise missile will do this. This is how all this happened because of two things. One is good ELINT system, electronic intelligence system, gather the right information and give it to striking aircraft or striking missile. Precision strike. So information, this is the software sort of a thing. You can say it's a hardware sort of a thing. So this software gives you the intelligence, and that's the combination it works. So a missile can be only as perfect as the electronic warfare information comes. Well, coming quickly, and I think another 5 minutes will finish off. So, Iranian war, Russo-Ukrainian war. Well, this is Ukraine, and this is a big Russia. And have Belarus, Moldova, Romania, Bulgaria, all these countries here. Okay. This is a bigger picture. These are the two big cities. I think we repeatedly have been in the news. Kharkiv, and this area which has been the red area is mainly dominated by Russians. These were taken back by the Ukrainians. You can see the date. It's just about 3 days old. Well, let me not go into the history portion of it. Only to say here that the war literally started in February 2022, but actually started in February 2018. Okay. Russians had already occupied many of these places. There was a Ukrainian president who was hosted, who was a pro-Russian. He was hosted. Immediately when he was hosted out, Russia occupied Crimea. I am interested, even though I am a technology person in EW, I've been following many of the stories. That's why I thought I should share with all of you. And then Russia came in and they attacked this portion. This is the Russian border, and also the port at Black Sea. Okay? They attacked this portion. This is the timeline. Okay, I will not go into detail, but see, the yellow portions show that what Russians had a big hand. February, March, June, April, May, June, July, you can see. They had a big hand, but with a very, very big hand. what was expected was that whole war will be over in a week, or maybe a couple of weeks. That was what was expected by all over the world. It did not happen. On the other hand, what happened was there were a lot of collateral damage. We can see they had to go to Ukraine coast. The Russians had to go to Ukraine coast. They had to kill some train stations where 50 civilians had got. Lot of damage for the civilian structures, as all of us know. A lot of things happened. Why? Simple why is that EW was not affected. Well, let's look at slightly right? Continuing August, September, October till January 2023. You can see more of green leaves here. That means Ukraine had a better hand here. That is what the trend is. Why is it? Okay, with what background? The background is this. India had fantastic AW systems, as what is reported in Google. Tushkoa 4, Tushkoa 2, these are against A-band radars, high-precision radars. These are against S-band radar, ground-based system. These are against VHF communication system. The jammers against satellite systems. The long-range and jamming military radio. These are highly specialized systems. Everybody knew Russia had all this. It's all in open. US was totally aware. NATO was totally aware of all this system. They were really, that is why they were wondering, how is that Ukraine war is still going on? They thought EW, with all this EW and the precision type capability, the war must have been over and over. The other side, NATO supported, rather, I would say not supported, I may not be politically wrong, but whatever it is, Ukraine had this system which was able to detect the UAVs at some 100 kilometers, jam at about 20 kilometers. More important, the whole thing could be assembled in just 2 minutes. Readiness in 2 minutes. Sinclair, again, ground-based VHF tactical radio, which could not be done by Russia. It successfully withdrew Russian jamming. Then, of course, came the latest technology of the drone. Drones were used for intelligence gathering. Drones were used for combat operations. Drones were also used for documentation war crimes. It's as important as a war crime because you can showcase the whole world saying that what damage Russia has done to me. That is what Ukrainian president has been doing. And that was done because of the drones. Drones had cameras which capture what sort of civilian damage has been done. So, Russian EW systems could work well with their operators when their operators have plenty of time. And that is what happened pre-22. 2014 to 2022, Russia had a upper hand, because they had plenty of time to set up the EW mechanism and the government. But 2022, when the actual operation started, EW preparedness was not sufficient. This is what is being reported everywhere. And that was the reason that they had to take a backseat. That is the reason, if you had seen the previous slide, there were a lot of civilian casualties. There were a lot of damages for civilian structures. And that was because that EW was not prepared enough. Their air support was not prepared enough. Russians claimed that they could confuse all the GPS and radio links. That's what the claim is. In fact, if you see the history between 2014 and 2022, a lot of satellite communication around Yugoslavia, Russia, Ukraine, all those countries, satellite communication were all destroyed. At least to some extent. Not destroyed, they were, what you can say, they were not functional. Well, generally agreed, Russian military failures were too many. It is under quotes. It's just about a big word. And EW jammers, Russian EW jammers, jam their own systems. Very, very, very important. My jammer should not jam my own system, is what happened. The last slide. EW technology plus EW strategy provides much superior precision structure. Today, using drones will be an important aspect for all future war. Counter drone systems, counter drone technologies, trainings, paramount interest. Network-centric pair, very important. It's not just a one system, a complete system coordinately work. And EW appears to be most likely centered upon more automation, more mobility, and exploiting artificial intelligence and robotic computing. There's a lot of work going on in this area. Well, it's not the time. What next? Well, this game goes on. You develop a system, he develops an equally good system. You develop a jamming, he develops anti-jamming. He becomes countermeasures, what a countermeasure. So from countermeasures, we come to counter. He also develops counter. Go to E cubed system, EC cubed system, countermeasures. Also goes there. It's like a chess. You play move, he plays a move. You play move, he makes it. Now, only thing is, he should not know what sort of move you are going to play. That is where the secrecy of BW. So the challenges of BW system. I enjoyed work on that. I'm sure all my colleagues enjoyed working with it because these are challenging, absolutely challenging. And what next? Anybody's gift. With this, I thank every one of you for patient hearing. I have short my time. 12 minutes I had planned. I think probably soon. Thank you very much for patient hearing. If there are any questions, of course, I can answer, or you can always contact me on my WhatsApp or directly or any other. It's all yours.
Thank you, sir. A very good and excellent talk for this one. But as Manisar has already told, if any questions is there, it's better you can ask in his WhatsApp or something like that. If anybody is more curious, they can ask one question because we are already late. Even there's only one question because half an hour late is already there. Anybody?
Any feedback, most welcome. If not right now, later on, because of the time constraint.
Yeah, it's better. Okay.
Okay,
it's better.
Probably had something.
I think no questions. Okay, because it's already late. We can submit for the next talk. Actually, it was scheduled to Bangalore. I did not get anybody, so all our members should help me in getting a speaker from Bangalore. Next talk. Okay, and I'm handing over Mr. Govagumar. I'm handing out to Govagumar to say a word of thanks. Govagumar.
Okay. First of all, let me thank Professor Mani for such a wonderful talk, because he explained the electronic warfare, electronic protection, electronic surveillance, and the evolution of electronic warfare over the years. It was very interesting, and because so many of inputs I got, which some of these things I are not aware of earlier. Thank you very much for the excellent talk. So next, I would like to thank Professor Sri Asthana for inaugurating the series of talk for 2023, and Koruth for making arrangements, and Sundaresan sir for introducing Mani, Professor Mani, and I think participants from different LMAG sections for attending, and including, I think, Venkatrao is attending from US. Thank you very much for participating in this thing and making it a success. Thank you.
Mr. Kurti, you want to take a snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we have a snap of all? So everybody can open their
can put on
camera.
the cameras. Oh.
Just wanted to add on that Muralidharan had worked on one of the systems where we worked together, I think somewhere in 1990s, remember correctly, in one of the EW systems.
Yeah, the Ajanta EW first indigenous system for the naval ships. Ajanta EW, yes, sir, I remember that. Then we did the Samyukta subsequently.
However, how any idea about the photo?
I'm getting only miniature.
Yeah,
The main screen is showing this thing, you know. Problem.
Alan, they will be able to take.
Yeah, you just ask him.
You're taken?
There are only 5 persons who have switched on their cameras.
Only 5 only switch on the camera.
Yeah.
Sure. Can everybody switch on the camera? Okay, whatever is available, just.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver speaks descriptions of items on the screen and can
Is it done, sir?
It's on.
I have taken, Mr. Kurta. I'll send you across. I have taken.
Yeah, okay.
I can send you across.
Everybody has to excuse me because, arranging from distant places, new people, getting everything. Getting streamlined, we may take 1 or 2, 3 sessions, yeah? Okay. And I hope everybody should cooperate me for the next talk. Next talk is by last February, last Thursday. I did not get any topic from anybody. Actually, it was scheduled to Bangalore. So let us see what can be done. Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Thanks
All the
for
best.
the-
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for patient hearing.
It was a good talk. Very good.
Good night, Professor. Very good talk.